Hi guys, I'm Dennette Bailey, and I thought I'd share with you the process I went through with publishing my first book. I had lots of people asking me, so I thought it'd be best to just make a video and share it with everybody, and you guys can share it around for anybody that might be interested in the whole process. So first, I'm Dennette Bailey, and I published a book. I self-published a book. It's called Big Dreams, No Fears. It's my first self-publishing project here. Um, and it's been a long journey. It took me 4 years to actually complete the book. So anyone that's asking, like, how long did it take you? It didn't take 4 years to write the book, of course. I came up with the idea over 4 years ago. But it took 4 years for me to actually get to this time because things happen in life. And when I started on the process of getting the book published, the first thing that I did actually was, again, this was over 4 years ago. I researched like what platform I could use this on, and I ended up going with Outskirts Press, and so I paid for it, the whole thing, and I was told, of course, at that time that there was no limit because kind of knew myself, and I asked, like, how long do I have to submit this book to you? And they're like, it doesn't expire. Since then, I can tell you that I think they require you to finish in 2 years. And so, since it's been 4 years, they've started like really blowing up my phone saying you need to get your book published because you paid for this over 4 years ago. And we have 2 year contracts, 2 year stat now that we give people to finish the book. So keep that in mind. But at the time that I did it, they didn't have a time limit, so they still had to honor uh, and letting me finish. So that was how I did it. I paid for it. It took me so long because initially, like, I was running my own preschool and I had the bright idea to go and teach in a public school. So I left to go teach kindergarten. I thought I would teach kindergarten, and I that process was like 2 years. That's a whole nother conversation, but needless to say, that was not for me. And so I decided to go back into business for myself, which I did, and it made me actually more motivated to finish the book. I had talked with my aunt Nancy, who the book is dedicated to. Just she doesn't probably doesn't even remember like we were talking about, and she was like, "But you always wanted to publish books. Why haven't you done that yet?" And actually, the last conversation that we'd had about it, I was like, "I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna like get this done." So I had to dedicate it to her because it was a last conversation that I had with her that actually motivated me to like get on the ball with it. But so in it taking 4 years, it actually had nothing to do with like my illustrator or anything. I just needed to be motivated. And since then, like, for me, I thought maybe because I work with kids and I'm always thinking in this way, but I thought I needed something like to keep motivating me. So I bought myself a reward, something that I could see and that like would make me feel like I'm a writer. And so I'm going to show it to you. I bought myself this chair that I'm sitting in. It's a very cute white office chair. I'm going to show it to you. It's so cute and white and just like so clean and professional looking. I have a little cousin that she told me that her favorite color is white, and I was like, white, but then I realized like I have a lot of white stuff. Even the walls behind me are white. Like, I like that color. That might be one of my favorite colors as well. But I bought this for myself as a reward, and it just motivates me when I walk past my office to write. And so maybe you could, I don't know, give yourself a reward as well, something to just like motivate you, whatever you could find. The book, I think, also motivated me too. Once it came in the mail and it was done, I certainly was motivated, and I have like so many other books in the works. Like, I'm literally working on them. They're not just like sitting on the shelf anymore. So that's how we get to Big Dreams, No Fears. So again, with how long that it took, that's the whole 4 year thing that had nothing to do with anyone but myself. Like I said, I had an illustrator and I wanted to work with someone young. I wanted to help someone like young achieve their dreams. Like I wanted to. I've wanted to write since I was in second grade. I had the most awesome second grade teacher. I didn't know that she was an awesome teacher at the time. Like when I was young, I used to say other people were my favorites, but when I look back, she was an awesome teacher. Her name is Miss Mendizabal, if I'm saying her name correctly. I went to a really small school, and in second grade, uh, I remember the first project that she had us do where we read a book and then she told us to write our own book based on this book. I believe that's how I remember it anyway. And so I wrote a book and she thought it was so nice that she said for me, I want you to go to the teacher next door and read your book. And that teacher thought it was so nice. She was like, go read it to this teacher over here. And before you know it, I'd read the book to the whole school. This was when teachers were creative beings and they could do as they pleased and really teach to each individual child and do what they needed. That's an aside. But anyway, and so she was really instrumental and like she thought everything that I wrote was so awesome and she believed in me and let me actually read the book to other people, which is I think a part of why I like reading stories, anyone's stories, quite frankly, any children's story to children now, because that's where it started. It all started in second grade. But anyway, um, so I in writing this book, I wanted to work with a young person. I wanted to like help them achieve a dream that I've wanted to achieve since second grade to be an author. And so I was certain somebody out there wants to be an illustrator, just like I wanted to be an author. And I knew Bethany from church. We attended the same church. She was in high school at the time. She has since graduated from college. So you see how this process keeps going. And she, I thought, was a great artist, and I thought that she would just really be able to tell the story through the pictures. And she was willing to do that, and her parents were willing to let her do that. So we worked together for your book. This is important. What we did was I paid her for the pictures and she signed a contract that the pictures belonged to me once I paid for them. And that's important because like you will want to use the pictures in the book for like marketing, etc. And you don't want to have to keep going back and forth with the illustrator because you don't own the pictures because you just let them put their name and went on about, maybe they were like, oh yeah, I won't charge you. Maybe you find someone like that. You need to, sign a contract so that the pictures are yours. So that's what we did. And so I'm the owner of the pictures and she's the illustrator. I was more than happy to have her listed as the illustrator on my book to give her that credit and to let her use it for her portfolio. Who knows where she will go with her dreams, and to be able to say that she did that in high school, I think will just motivate her more. I'm hoping that it motivates her and people who want to do what she's done. But she is an adult now, an accomplished artist. Like if you see her art now, she has an Instagram. I posted it on my Facebook page. She has an Instagram account and her art is beautiful. I'm hoping to work with her again because she just has really beautiful art and she's just a really capable artist. And her name is Bethany Clausen. Okay, if you want to look her up, she's at the back of my book. If you did purchase the book, you see that, or you'll see that page right there on my Facebook page. So something else that I learned for as far as my process with the book is the editor situation. So I consider myself an educated person, and I really thought that like besides the art, because I'm not an artist at all, that I could handle doing the book and handle doing the editing. The problem is that when you're close to your own work, and first of all you write it and then you read it to yourself, like you read it silently, and you don't know what you don't see. And so it's only been since the book has been published, and I've been doing read alouds, been on the local cable television channel here, read the book. And so hearing the book did something different for me where I could like hear and like, wait a second, that's, that's a mistake. Or reading the book aloud, and while I'm reading the book aloud, seeing that, punctuation is not where it's supposed to be. And it's just odd that I wasn't able to see that while I was reading it silently, um, as opposed to reading it aloud and reading it aloud to other people, hearing other people read the book aloud, hearing my daughter read the book aloud. My daughter's in high school quickly finding something. And so that's why you should let other people read it. As artists, And those of us who are creative, we're artists. Sometimes we don't want to share our work. We want to wait till it's perfect, um, for many different reasons. That could be the case, but that will be hurtful to us in the end. And so I would suggest to you that, in addition to you reading your book aloud yourself, after you take some time away from it and then come back and read it, like have other people read it aloud as well. Have other people read it and, just give you their critique. So, because there will be things that you will want to change, and you can go back and edit. Like Outskirts Press, that's who I published with, Outskirts Press. You and all, to my understanding, like any of the companies that you might work with, you can go back and edit. But if you go back and edit, the book will be unavailable while it's being edited once you put it in re-editing phase. And so, like, if someone's on there right now, you're watching this video, you're like, I tried to buy your book and I can't, because it's currently in re-edit phase, and so you can't purchase the book. So of course that holds up book sales, which would hold up the possibility of like being on some bestsellers list, whether we're the New York Times or best Christian book, because mine is listed under Christian books as well. I mean, like that holds up your possibility of being on that bestsellers list when you have to halt sale of your book to re-edit. So think about that. Like you can hire an editor. If you don't have your own, many of these companies, like they have that. When you pay, they have all these different other services that you can buy. Be aware. Editing is one of them. Marketing is one of them. You will need to market the book. uh, Let me tell you that even if you pay someone to market the book for you, you still need to market your book, meaning that you still need to, ahead of time, like have your social media, whatever you're using, Facebook, Instagram, all of it, Twitter, all of it. I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Dennette Bailey, and I've been doing that for some years now. My YouTube channel, I do lots of read alouds because, again, I like to read children's stories. I share with parents ways that they can help their children physically, cognitively, socially. Um, I give parents ideas. I make videos for children. I have lots of more ideas up here to make videos, and so I've been doing that a while already, and have a few people following that. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this video, just like subscribe so you can like see when I put stuff up. But um, so you will want to do that. You will need to market your book. Like, don't at all think someone's just gonna like take the reins and the money will just come in, because that's not the way this works. If you have not been signed by a major editor, those who are thinking like, well, I would rather work with an agent, I don't want to self-publish, for whatever your reasons are, you would prefer to work with an agent, you have to then submit your work to different agents. They can accept or not accept you. Some people, like, they'll send a letter and say they're not accepting clients at the time. Be wary of people who accept you as a client but for a fee. uh, don't mess with those. This book, if you like, when I paid to do this, again, this was over 4 years ago, with the price that was charged at the time, I think I got like a deal because they run specials, and so I may have paid like $800 for to publish the book. And then now that I'm doing the re-edit, so it'll come in somewhere around $1,000 to have completed the book. That's me paying to have the book done, though. Like now you can go on different sites, I believe, like Amazon Kindle. They have like there are different places that won't even charge you or charge you very little money to publish a book, but you will just make more on the back end. Just like in terms of someone buys the book, you will make much less, maybe, and as opposed to making $5 or $4 or $3 off the book, you only make $1.50 off the book. And I'm sure some of your like eyebrows went up, like, yeah, this is not like get rich quick. This is, you do this because you really want to, and you're looking to progress. Maybe you want to make something else that you're doing, promote something else that you're doing through the book. And so the book is for that. You're using it for advertisement for that. So think of that. Like, a book can be used for many different purposes, not just becoming, a famous author with your book on a shelf. That's nice, and we all want that, but just keep in mind like different steps, like different goals that you want to make with the book. Maybe not just write the book, become your most favorite famous author. immediately, think of it in steps. So you will need to market the book, okay? Regardless if you choose the marketing option that they will pay for you, and you will want to use social media. If you're not already using social media, you will want to start using social media, getting someone to help you use social media if you want to publish a book. The On the technical side, there are lots of technical aspects to this. You, for the most part, just need to write your book, get your illustrator to do the pictures, and upload them, right? But pictures need to be in a certain format when you submit to companies like this. And so if you don't know how to put them in that correct format, or if the illustrator that you're using doesn't know how, maybe you're working with a young person and they haven't learned how to do that in school yet, then you will need to have them format it. For me, at one point, I had researched how to format, and so I was formatting the pictures. And then when I sent them in, apparently either I sent the old one or something happened, and not all of my pictures that I submitted were formatted correctly. And so they contacted me and said, you need to submit these correctly. Then when I tried to do it the next time, I couldn't remember how I did it. It sounds bad, right? The Greg tells you. I couldn't remember how to do it. And I was sat with it frustrated for a while. And then I remembered that I had a young cousin. Her name is Deronda Rogers. And it's like she knows how to do this. And so I reached out to her and she charged me. And it was well worth the money because I'd sat with it for like over an hour trying to remember how I did it. And then I sent her the pictures, and 15 minutes later, she sent them back. So, take advantage of the people that know how to do this stuff. If you don't know someone, ask around, put that blurb on your social media. Who knows how to do this? Who's willing to do this, and how much do you charge? And people will respond. Not everyone wants a gazillion dollars to do something, Some people charge decent rates, which Deronda, the my little cousin that did the technical part, and my illustrator, they both were very reasonable. And of course, I wanted to give them credit because I want to help young people. So that's why I'm making sure that people know that these people helped me, and they could probably help you as well. Um, like I said, Bethany, you can find her on Instagram. You can find Deronda on Instagram as well. Deronda has a YouTube channel. I think she goes under Dee Dee Rogers. But if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see her and you with Bethany. Both of their Instagrams are on there, and you can see them that way. Their work, if you're interested, and maybe getting some help from them. But you will need technical help in getting the book done. So in terms of the process, it's not 1, 2, 3. Like that. Some people will tell you, but it's not hard. Like I would not put it in the hard box. Do you know what I mean? The hard part is um, if you don't do this while you're young, if you don't do this while you're in college, if you don't do this while you don't have children and while you don't have a husband, if you wait until you like have a mortgage and everything, there's so many things that come up that make you put your book to the side. That's the hard part. Knowing that you have a book sitting on the shelf and you didn't work on it again yet, 3 weeks in a row you haven't worked on it. That's the hard part because that gets to you, that you have something that could fulfill you and motivate you, but you're not working on it. That's the part that's in the hard box. Getting the book done, it will not be the hard part. So I don't want anybody to think that they can't do it. Maybe you feel like you're not the best writer, or you're not really good at social media. Like, this is 2020. There are lots of people who like doing the parts that you don't like and the parts that you don't know how to do. Someone else likes to do it. Someone else knows how to do it. And you just have to see like who can do this and who wants to work with me and who can I afford, and go from there. And that's what I've done. And so you can do that too. Like, do not put something off because you think it's hard, you don't know how to do it, or no one will help you. There is someone out there that wants to maybe just make, like, maybe they're in marketing and they just want to like practice marketing. Like, let them help you. There, for every part, there is someone who's out there. Like, I was in second grade wanting to be an author. Like, there's someone who's wanted to advertise and market since they were in second grade. Trust me, I work with young children and they have great ideas. That's what my book is about. Like, people do not take children seriously. They have some awesome ideas, they have some creative minds, and they say things and people like put them to the side. But take them seriously. Like they have some really good ideas and they don't have to wait until they're, I won't even mention an age, but they don't have to wait until later in life to accomplish things. They can accomplish them now. And I think if we teach them, like, do the parts you can, because certainly as parents or caretakers, you're busy and you can't like stop your life to just like work on your 3-year old's dream. But you can teach your 3-year old, your 6-year old, your 8-year old that to work on the parts that they can, that you won't hold them back, that you won't talk negatively about the things that they want to do, and that you will just tell them that you believe in them and try. Like if they're just writing on paper. I mean, I remember in 4th grade, I would write stories. I would make my own catalog and I would sell, like people would put a click next to the book and the catalog that I said I would had that I didn't have. And then when they would click it, then I would write that book like when I was like 2nd grade, 4th grade, I mean, like I was doing everything that I wish that I was doing now. I was doing it then, just just with that little classroom. Until you get to that age, preteen, 12 and 13, where you just start to believe what adults say that things will not work out and things are not like you think and things don't go that way, and then you slowly but surely just stop working on your dreams. So if you are an adult, I would just encourage you, like, don't dismiss another person's dreams, whether they're a child or an adult. If you don't believe in their dream, then but don't dismiss their dreams. I remember I was a part of a journalism group in high school. I went away actually to Rider College, and there was a woman there she wasn't a professor, but she was one of the assistants in this program, and she's like, by the end of the program, she's like, you're a nice young lady, but you're not going to be a writer. She said that to me. She said, you're not going to be a writer. And my first reaction actually was I felt sorry for her. I felt bad for her that as a mentor and a guide that she was there to be, she was not able to do that for me. That her first inclination was to tell me what I could not be. And I really did. My first inclination, my first thought was, God, I feel sorry for you. Certainly, I think subconsciously what she said affected me because look, it's taken me this long to accomplish actually getting something written and that people can buy besides when they were buying it in 4th grade. But I think that it's sad when adults don't recognize how powerful they are and that they can motivate you to do and be anything. And even if you're not good at it, they could help you. Like, how much better would it have been if she had maybe gotten another student that was really good at what they were doing because they were such good technical writers and she had paired us together? And my creativity and that person's technical expertise, and we could have helped each other. But instead, she just told me what I couldn't do and that I wouldn't be successful. And, I should choose something else to do. So I think that is unfortunate. It was unfortunate for both of us, but more so unfortunate for her. And I really pray that she moved on from that stage. I don't even remember her name. That's just like the type of person that I was. Like if someone treated me that way, I just was like erase them. And so I know her face is right here. I can see her face, but I couldn't even tell you what her name was. That was so sad that she did that. But I would just say for those of you who are like, I'm watching your video and I'm trying to see if this is something that I can do, you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. If you don't feel like maybe you're a good speaker, you're not good at social media, you're not good at writing, there is someone who is good at everything you're not good at. All the parts that you can't do, someone else can do. So, you're not good at marketing, you don't like marketing because you could just not like something. I personally, even though I have a degree in English, I like don't like the technical parts. You could just not like something. Someone else loves it and they can do it perfectly and you could just pay them to do it. Someone you I always wish that I was like a great artist. One of my daughters is like a really good artist. She actually illustrated a book that we did together that's not like published like this, but she's an excellent artist. Like I always wish that I could do the art and the writing, and then I would need less people. That's a childhood issue, but someone else likes to do the parts that you don't like to do, and so you could just ask them to help you and to work with you, and not everyone charges a gazillion dollars. Like some people just want to learn just like you do, and I like working with young people because I want to help them achieve dreams. Like I want to make up maybe for the parts where people weren't so nice or helpful to me in achieving my dreams. If I the better way to, I think, to get revenge is to help other kids get what I didn't get. And so that's why I like and want to continuously work with young people. And plus they know their stuff. Like they don't forget how they formatted something just 8 months before because it's right fresh in their minds. So also like comparing with other places, like I said, I used Outskirts Press. You will see that in the back of my book. And this was over 4 years ago. So I couldn't compare. I couldn't tell you like who you shouldn't use now. I personally even have to figure out who I want to use because I have some other books like right now ready because I'm so motivated. So I couldn't tell you that. Maybe after I'm done with that, I could. But you can just Google, like you could Google self-publishing companies. You could Google compare self-publishing companies, and it'll just list like what the differences are between the companies, so you could choose the one that's better for you. Like I said, be mindful that there are some places that you can do it for free or almost free, not so much a $1,200 deal, but be willing to like make a goal and decide, you know what, okay, by this time next year, I need $1,200. So I'll save $100 or $200 a month until this time next year. And in the meantime, I'll get the manuscript written, I'll get the author done, I'll work on my YouTube and my social media so that people know me and are following me. That way, when the book is done, like people know who I am so that I can sell this book. You can be working on it while you're saving your money to actually have it published. Don't wait until you have the money to publish and click to upload. Like you can start on the book right now, and it doesn't have to take you 4 years like it took me. And as far as like the process when you actually upload the information to the company that you've chosen, it does not take long at all. Like maybe 3 months the max, because then it becomes all based on you, like how fast you get back. They'll come back to you and they'll say, we need this fixed. Well, how fast can you fix that? And if you're a person that you don't mind staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and you'll fix it and you send it right back to them, they'll get it back to you quickly. It does not take long. You literally, like, if you start it today, you could have a book ready 6 months from now. Think about that. 6 months from now, you could like have your own book ready. So this is not a long process. They do not like, I'm not aware of anyone that has like a minimum amount of pages that you have to do. My book is like not even 20 pages long. And that is because even like the art, if you have my book, the art is on one page. And then the text of the book is on another page. And I like that because like when I'm doing read alouds, I can literally like pull the book back like that and read it if I wanted to, and just continuously show the pictures. Be mindful though, like technically, right, this is something to be mindful. If you have your artist do the work and you want the text on the same page, they need to do the art so that it comes up a couple inches so that the words could be at the bottom of the page, or vice versa if you want the text at the top. And be mindful of that. You can see the way that my pictures are, you just could not put the text on the same page without compromising the pictures. So again, that's something technical that you wouldn't know until you got started. That might take time if you wanted to change it. But little things like that you have to be mindful of when you're doing this. So I hope that tidbit was helpful to you to know when you're doing your art. Again, like there will be nowhere to put the words without interfering with the picture. So be mindful of that if you're doing a book with pictures. Like you have to think about where the words are going to be, if they're going to be on a different page, if they're going to be on the top or the bottom. And so when the illustrator does that, you have the pages formatted, you want to make sure that that part is done. And that's the technical stuff that people don't like, that makes them like not want to do the book, but just let someone else do that part. Like I said, you can have someone else do that. You don't have to do the whole thing yourself. Something else that I didn't realize, again, these are like technical things that if you haven't done it before, and maybe you can learn from someone else. When I was looking up, like I never heard anyone say this particular thing that I'm going to tell you right now. So my book has no page numbers. There are no page numbers. And so I got the book, I was like, where's the page numbers? And the company was like, well, you didn't say you wanted page numbers on the book. I had to ask for page numbers? Like, I couldn't believe that. So, like, little things like that. Ask every question. There aren't any dumb questions because I was just like assuming there would be page numbers on the book. So in the re-edit, of course, now I'm making sure that there are page numbers on the book. And those are the little technical things that will like or can frustrate you. But now that you know it, it shouldn't because you can write that down to make sure you do that. You want to have like a little checklist of things to go through to make sure that you go through. The pages will have to be submitted in a particular format, like I said. Mine had to be submitted in JPEGs. Like I said, the Duranda was able to help me with that to make sure they were submitted correctly. So, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. You just need your illustrator to do the pictures. If your illustrator is able and they know how, they could do that. Lots of illustrators probably know how to do that now. But if not, you can have someone do it. It's not like you have to be the one to do that, or you have to know how to do that. Because again, everything you don't know how to do, someone else knows how to do, and someone else is happy to receive money for you to pay them to do it for you. So don't put your book off, okay? Like when you go through, like I said, to do your book, if you're self-publishing, they will have a plethora of things that you can purchase: marketing, editor, being a part of like different book contests. They have a plethora of things that you can purchase. Ebook, if you want you to be able to offer ebook, you can just check that and pay a different fee. But set a budget ahead of time. Like say how much you're willing to spend and be willing to stick with that because you don't want to like this is not like a $10,000 deal. You may not make $10,000 at least immediately, and so you need to be able to afford what you're doing. The option of getting an agent, like I said, you will want to submit and ask and see who's accepting agents. But maybe your first book you want to self publish just to get your name out there, at least in the community that you're in, and to boost up your morale. Because it can be a morale booster when you send out your book and people say nice but no thank you, and you will get that nice but no thank you because quite frankly they want to work with agents, and most companies will not even accept a book from you without an agent anyway. So be mindful of that and do something to motivate yourself. Maybe buy yourself a chair to keep yourself working like I did. But I've enjoyed this process. And so if you guys have any more questions for me, if I didn't answer something, I don't want this video to be too long. Please send me a text inbox or whatever. And if I need to make another video because you guys have more questions, I'm more than willing to do that. Please do me a favor and like and subscribe to my channel. That is helpful to me if you do that. Like and subscribe, tell people about the channel. This is the only type of video that's on it right now, but most of the videos are, like I said, read alouds for story times and videos to help children and help parents teach their children in ways, prepare them for kindergarten that they hadn't thought of. Because I run into so many parents, I think like their kids are ready for kindergarten. They're not. So I just want to help. I just want to help you because I've been there, and that's lots of anxiety for the kids. So subscribe to my channel and I can help you with that. Like this video and share it, please. And let me know if you have any more questions. I'm Dennette Bailey. Bye.